On today's show, we're going to make potato salad.
Mouth-watering family recipes, easy-to-make meals, humor and faith fill the inspiring show Dano on the Counter. Born with only half a spine, Dano Burkhardt was never supposed to be able to hold his head up. Despite countless surgeries, a stroke, leg amputations, and kidney transplants, Dano developed a contagious love for life. Join Dano as he shares his easy-to-make dishes and the hope that keeps him pushing forward.
For our potato salad, you're going to need 6 medium potatoes, 1 small onion, 1 cup of celery, 1 teaspoon of salt, 6 hard-boiled eggs, 2 beaten eggs, a half a cup of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, some salt, a half cup of vinegar, 1 5-ounce can of evaporated milk, 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard, a quarter cup of butter, and 1 cup of mayo. So we're going to make today our potato salad that we love on the summer barbecue. That's always on the menu. We're going to grab our russet potatoes. We're going to need about 6 of them. We're going to peel them, boil them, and then let them cool, dice them up, and we'll throw them in our mixture of our sauce and our onions and celery. We're also going to grab our white onions. We're going to need about 1 of those to go along with our couple stalks of celery. So we'll grab our onions, and we'll grab our potatoes, then we'll head over and grab our celery. All right, the other ingredient we're gonna need for our potato salad is our celery. We're only gonna need a couple stalks of it, but we'll get the whole bunch because we like to eat it with peanut butter and blue cheese or anything else, and we can use it for a lot of other things. And it's reasonably priced, $1.99. It's not bad. So we'll grab some celery with our potatoes and onions, and we'll get everything we need for our sauce. Our next ingredient is cornstarch. We're only going to need a couple tablespoons of this. So we'll grab a container of this, and then we'll head over and grab our other ingredients. We're going to need some vinegar, we'll need some mustard, and of course we'll need our eggs. All right, so our next ingredient for our potato salad is of course some hard-boiled eggs. So we'll grab a dozen here. We're going to need to hard-boil some of those, and then we'll slice them and then chill them, and then we'll put them in our potato salad. So we'll grab these, just make sure they're not broken, of course, and we should be good to go. They look good, let's go. So the other 2 ingredients for our sauce are just some vinegar and yellow mustard, which pretty much everybody has at home. So we'll just, we'll use that back at the house. So we're pretty much gonna check out here and we'll head back to the house, start cooking.
Hi, my name is Dad Dick.
And I'm Aiden. We're the 5th generation of Dick's Home Care.
And our family is here for your health.
If you're considering a lift chair, call or stop in and see us at Dick's Home Care. Our chairs come in a wide variety of fabrics and finishes. We even have chairs that are able to be closer to your wall in case you have a small space.
Dick's Home Care, Central Pennsylvania's leader in mobility products.
Impact Productions, a multi-layer technology company providing on-site, online, and in-studio video services. Contact Impact Productions to capture your story.
Kick off summer by joining faith-filled believers from all across the city for Saturate Altoona. This is a free summer worship series unifying believers throughout our community. You're invited to join worshipers every Sunday night during the month of June at Heritage Plaza, beginning at 6:30 p.m. You'll hear from 12 different faith leaders of several denominations and musicians from many churches. You don't want to miss Saturate Altoona every Sunday night in June at Heritage Plaza in downtown Altoona.
Hey y'all, welcome into the kitchen. Today we're gonna make our awesome potato salad. Of course, it's summertime. It's one of those side dishes that everybody loves, and I'm gonna give you my recipe for that potato salad today. So first thing we're gonna start with, of course, is our potato. We have a nice russet potato. We're gonna need about 6 of these. We're gonna peel them, quarter them, and then we're gonna boil them until they're about fork tender. You wanna be able to just stick your fork in it and then be able to pull it right back out. But you don't want it too soft because we're not making mashed potato salad, we're making potato salad. So we're gonna go ahead and just, we're gonna peel these up real good, and then we'll cut them, and then we'll put them in the water and boil them probably about 10 minutes, something like that. But like I said, keep an eye on them because you don't want them too soft. And then they'll end up being a mashed potato mess, and you don't want that. You have to start all over. We got all the brown spots off there. And then we're just gonna like quarter these. That way they'll cook a little faster. And then once we boil these and get them to the right texture, we're gonna let them cool, put them in the fridge, and then we'll dice them up for our actual potato salad. The other thing that you're gonna need is the eggs, the hard-boiled egg. So we'll have a pot here with some water in it. I'm gonna throw our eggs in there, bring it to a boil, let it boil for a couple minutes, and then remove it from the heat, and then let it sit and stand in that boiling water for about 15 minutes, and then you should be able to let it cool and then peel it. Once it's peeled, you let it cool in the fridge, and then you can combine all of it together. You'll have your cool potatoes and your cool eggs, and that'll be like the first step in your potato salad. All right, so for our dressing for our potato salad, we're actually gonna use a cooked dressing. So we're gonna use some vinegar, mustard, some sugar, and a couple eggs, and we're gonna cook it, and then we're gonna throw some butter in it, let it simmer, let it cool, and then we're gonna pour that over our eggs, celery, onions, and potatoes. So to start with our dressing, we're gonna start with some vinegar, just regular white vinegar. I'll turn our heat on here and get this going. And then we're gonna add some evaporated milk, about 5 ounces. We're gonna add our sugar. Lots of sugar to balance out that vinegar. And we're gonna add our cornstarch. This is what's gonna thicken up our sauce. Just about a teaspoon. And we'll just gonna let this combine here. Stir this all together. This is gonna be our dressing for our potato salad. Now, many people use sometimes just mayonnaise. But I found that this adds a little bit of tartness with that vinegar and the sweetness with the sugar. It's a good combination when it's cooked all together, and you throw it on that nice cold potato. So we're just gonna thin this out, let it cook for a couple seconds, and we'll add our mustard. That's gonna give us that yellow color that a lot of people are accustomed to. And just a little bit of that, not much. About a teaspoon. We'll mix that in there as well. Then we'll add our eggs. Now we're not making scrambled eggs here. We're not making we don't want those eggs to curdle, so we're just gonna cook this all together. Let it thicken up a little bit. Just kind of let that marry all together. Heat through. See, it's starting to thicken up a little bit with that cornstarch in there. Then we just have 2 eggs. We're going to drop those in there as well. That'll add that nice richness to the sauce. Just continually stir that. And like I said, we're not making scrambled eggs here, so stir this for a little bit. Let that thicken up. And then once it pretty much heats through, we got those eggs cooked in there for a little bit, bring them up temperature. And we're gonna remove this and let this cool while we chop up our potatoes and our vegetables. Alright, that's good and thick there. Remove this from the heat. I'm just gonna let it cool then. Stir it up. To finish off that sauce, we're just gonna add some butter. Kind of smooth it out. And you don't want to do this over the heat. You just want to do this right before it cools down, just enough to melt that butter through. It's about a 1/4 cup of butter. I'm just gonna melt that in there. And then let that cool. And when that's cool, and like I said, we'll get to our potatoes, cut up our eggs and our vegetables. All right, so we have our sauce here. We're just letting it cool. And then our potatoes have been cooled. And like I said, they're about fork tender here. And we're just gonna dice them up. And then we'll dice up our eggs and our onions and our celery. So we'll just run our knife through these. As you can see, they still have a little bit of thickness to them. And we'll throw these in a bowl. And we'll get them all chopped up. It doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. But you don't want somebody to get one huge piece of potato and somebody else get a small one. So this will fill a nice 13x9 pan. If you want to take it somewhere to a barbecue or to work or something like that, something going on. I just had a work party for Memorial Day, and I made this, and it was quite the hit. So hope everybody gets a chance to try it. Growing up, I think we used to do a lot of just the mayonnaise, celery, and onions. Never really did a cooked dressing before, but then I thought I'd give it a try, and it turned out really well. So hopefully you guys can try it as well. But it's pretty good. Just gonna run our knife through these. All right, so we have our potatoes cooked and diced there. We have our eggs that have been peeled, cooled, and cut up as well. We have our sauce here. The last thing to do with the sauce is add our mayonnaise. So we have about a cup of mayonnaise here. We're just gonna add that to our sauce. We'll mix that all together. Or not sauce, it should be a dressing, right? So we'll mix that all in there. Get that good and incorporated. It's gonna give a nice yellow and white color to our dressing there. Stir that up really good. All right. Then the next thing is just combine everything together, and then we'll add our dressing last. So we'll add our egg to our potatoes. We have 6 hard-boiled eggs here that have been chopped up pretty fine. And you can, if somebody doesn't like eggs, you can surely leave out the eggs. If somebody doesn't like the onions, you can leave that part out as well. Not a problem there at all. And we have our onions. We got about a cup of onion there. It's been diced up real fine. And then our chopped celery. I like a lot of celery in mine. And then we're just gonna pour this dressing on top of that. We'll mix it all. Then we'll throw a little celery seed on top of everything, throw it in the fridge and let it set up, and it should be ready to serve. So we'll add our dressing. Looks good there. And then we're just gonna toss this all together and then throw it in the fridge. Looks pretty good. Get this all mixed up. Get that dressing on all those potatoes. Get that egg and celery and onion mixed up. Nobody wants to get a spoonful of just onion. All right, that looks pretty good. Like I said, we'll just throw this in the fridge, then we'll take it out, throw some salt and pepper on top. Like I said, I usually don't use a lot of salt, but you can salt this as much as you want, and we'll be ready to go. So as this sets up in the fridge, we'll head over to the studio for hopefully an inspirational message.
Made by Vogel is a father and son business that produces high-quality handmade wooden products such as cutting boards, bowls, bottle stoppers, and more. Products for sale can be found on their Etsy site or in downtown Altoona at the Clay Cup. You can't go wrong buying from Made by Vogel.
Hi, my name is Dad Dick,
And I'm Aiden. We're the 5th generation of Dick's Home Care.
and our family is here for your health.
If you're looking for a stair lift, I would definitely recommend Bruno stair lifts. The reason people get Bruno stair lifts from Dick's Home Care is it keeps them in the home that they love. We also have a rental program on the stair lifts. My customers coming back to me saying, I'm so glad I bought this.
Dick's Home Care, Central Pennsylvania's leader in mobility products.
Hey y'all, welcome into the studio today. I just want to continue today telling you about my story and just get to the next part of my life. You know, I talked about how I got through that first kidney transplant from my brother, and he'd given me that kidney, and everything had gone really well, and I got the job at Dick's Home Care where I am still working today, and life is going great, right? Everything is going well. I'm meeting new people and doing some awesome things, and I ended up going down to South Carolina to visit my family down there, and I come back, and I noticed that my hands are a little puffy there, and I'm like retaining all this fluid, you know, and I'm like, oh, I said, what's going on? And I go to the doctor a couple days later, and I get some blood work done, and here I find out that kidney that my brother had given me had rejected, and I was devastated in that moment. You know, I was sitting there in the ER, my mom was there, and actually my boss came over to the ER with me, and the doctors came in and they're like, hey, your kidneys is not functioning right, your levels are through the roof, we need to send you over to Pittsburgh, and we need to take the next steps to find out what's going on with this kidney. And I remember laying there, and I was just like bawling my eyes out about how my brother had given me this awesome gift, and now it wasn't working anymore. It had been 9 years that the kidney had worked for me, that I'd enjoyed life and everything, and had gone so well for me. And there I was back in the hospital, and it seemed like it was a blink of an eye that whole 9 years had passed. I'd gone through the struggle of getting the kidney and living life, and then now I'm right back in that same situation. And that was just a devastating time and a hard time for me to realize what was next for me and how was I going to get through this. And I ended up going to Pittsburgh. They ended up doing a biopsy on the kidney, and it took about 5 hours. They get the results back, and the kidney's actually deteriorating in my body, and it's falling apart, not functioning at all anymore. And they decided that, hey, you know, you have a little bit of function left, but it's not that great. But you probably have 6 months or so before you need to get on dialysis again, and we'll try some steroids and things like that to see if we could, you know, help it, you know, get you a little bit longer so we can get you on the transplant list and things like that again. And there I was just sitting there and didn't know what was going to happen next. And I got home, and I was so sick. Like, I was retaining fluid. There's some pictures I'm sure online where my face was completely swollen. I'd gained almost 20 pounds of fluid, and I remember going to the doctor a couple weeks later, and the doctor was like, hey, he goes, we got to start dialysis like now. There's no way you're going to end up doing heart damage to yourself, and you might not survive. So we have to do something now to get you on dialysis. And I was crushed about that because I knew life was going to change for me again, that I was going to be tied to this machine, and didn't know how that was going to be with, working full time and how that was going to all play out. And I just remember questioning when I got home that first day. And before I even started dialysis, I was like, God, what is the purpose in all this? You'd given me all these 9 great years, and here I was back in the same position again. And I just remember asking that God to help me get through that. God, where are you in this situation? This devastating time that I'm going through right now. Everything that you've already done and brought me through. Why am I going through this again? And God really laid it on my heart that, hey, you're going to get through this, just like I brought you through everything else. I'm going to lead great people into your life that are going to encourage you and help you get through this. And let me tell you, he really did. I began the search for a new kidney donor, and I had so many people reach out to me. I started an online campaign to find a kidney called Make Dano Great Again, and we had a lot of people sign up. And one of my friends, one of my closest friends, Pastor Schaefer there down at New Life down in Pinecroft, he came forward and he came to me and he's like, hey, I want to get tested and I want to help you out. And I'd only met him a few times before that. And he's like, I just feel that you're a great guy and I want to do what I can. And if I'm able to, I will give you my kidney. And he was one of the first ones that I had tested. And he went over to Pittsburgh and got tested. And unfortunately, he ended up not being a match for me. But they ended up having this swap program that you could donate your kidney still, even if you didn't match, and then you would swap with somebody else, and somebody else would swap with you. So if you matched with another person in another family, and they matched with you, the two of you would switch donors, and that way you both would end up with good kidneys. And I appreciate Pastor Wayne. I mean, it was I do have his permission to share this story, and he's been an encouragement to me. And what an awesome gift for him, a local pastor that many of you probably know, but didn't know this about Pastor Wayne, is that he did this for me, and that he was right there for me and willing to, even though he didn't match, he could have easily bowed out and said, hey, I'm out, Dano, I can't do this, I'm sorry, and bowed out. But no, he stuck with me, and I drove him nuts, I'm sure, calling him and texting him saying, hey, what's the update, have you heard anything? And because of HIPAA, they don't tell you much, and they rely on the other person to tell you those things. But I just want to thank Pastor Wayne for being there for me and being willing to give a kidney to somebody who needed it, and in return for me to be able to get a kidney. Now that ended up not happening. That's not how I ended up with my kidney. But I just want to share that story because here's somebody that I didn't really know, who had his own relationship with God. I had my relationship with God, and here we're both coming together to help each other out because we feel that it's God's will, right? We feel that it's God's purpose in our life to help each other, and what an awesome gift that was for somebody that didn't really know each other to step forward and to do that, and that's what I want to encourage you guys at today too. That, hey, there's other people that are looking for kidneys, and maybe it's not a kidney that you need to give, but maybe there's just somebody that or somebody you heard about or read about online that they need help, and I just hope that you're able to reach out to those people and encourage them at the least, encourage them in their walk with God, because they are going through some tough times, and I know that I've gone through some tough times, and I couldn't have done it with God's help, and also the encouragement of others and my great friends that I have. And so that's my encouragement for you today. When you read a post about somebody going through a tough time, send them a message and say, hey, I'm praying for you. I just want to be here to encourage you to whatever you're going through, that God is here to help you. And hey, and if you're willing and able to donate your kidney, there's places online that you can donate. There's a lot of people I know, friends that are still looking that haven't had that gift, received that gift yet, and hopefully I'll be able to share some more story about that as we travel along here in the next couple weeks about the struggle about finding that donor and the struggles in dialysis and those disappointing days that I had ahead, that it just seemed like one after another disappointing days were coming. But let me tell you, God was there with me. The Holy Spirit was there to help me get through those tough days, and I'm so thankful for that, and also for those great friends. So I hope that encouraged you guys that today, that you could help somebody else out today. It's something small like sending a message, a little text or something like that, just to encourage them today. And I hope you guys are able to do that. But in the meantime, we're going to head over to the kitchen and enjoy some nice food. And so we'll see you over there.
Dick's Home Care can help you stay mobile. Dick's offers a full line of scooters to help with mobility both inside and outside your home. Take your scooter with you wherever you go with a scooter lift from Dick's. They are available for most vehicles. If standing or sitting is becoming difficult, a lift chair from Dick's will make life easier. There are many styles and sizes to choose from. And Dick's honors warranties and service on what we sell. Dick's Home Care, Central Pennsylvania's leader in mobility products.
Hi, my name is Dad Dick,
And I'm Aiden. We're the 5th generation of Dick's Home Care.
and our family is here for your health.
Purify O3 is the simple, effective way to clean your CPAP or BiPAP. It provides hospital-grade sanitation, killing 99.99% of bacteria and germs with the touch of a button. Everything you need comes in one affordable kit for just $1.90. It's available exclusively at Dick's Home Care, Central Pennsylvania's leader in home medical equipment.
Hey, welcome back into the dining room here, guys. We got our potato salad we made today. Sitting down with the crew, we're gonna dive in and give it a whirl here. Now, to be honest, Troy's not a potato fan or potato salad fan, and so he's gonna. He said he would try it for me. So let's see what he says. If he makes a sad or bad face, we know it's not the potato salad. It's just Troy.
No promises.
I like it. Troy's
Actually,
like,
I would eat this.
no.
I would eat this.
All right.
I gotta say, I'm surprised. I know you're good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you were that good.
It's very sweet. I like it.
Next level potato salad.
It's what it is. It's a sweetness that makes it edible for me.
It's not. It's not all the vinegar in it. It's that balance. Always balance. But anyhow, thanks you guys so much for joining us this morning, and join us online as well. And we'll see you next time on Dano on the Counter. Hey, if you have questions for me or about the show, please reach out to me at dano@danoburkhart.com. Also, catch all the episodes on danoburkhart.com.